Welcome to MojoPlays. Today we're looking at the inspirations or stories behind certain Mortal Kombat characters.
Raiden wins.
Before we begin, we publish new content all week long, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. Cetrion.
Surrender Kronika's crown and the Elder Jackson Briggs. No harm will come to you.
Along with popular culture, Mortal Kombat is known for referencing religion of historical cultures while crafting its roster of deadly warriors. As the fourth Elder God to join NetherRealm's universe, Cetrion rules over nature's four elements and life in general. Although the franchise typically refrains from creating direct parallels with any ancient deities, some connections can nevertheless be deduced.
Stand down, please. Resistance only ensures your suffering.
In the case of Cetrion, the most likely influencers are Ceres and Demeter, the Roman and Greek goddesses of agriculture and fertility respectively. Through their governance of nature and reproduction, Ceres and Demeter were responsible for creating life, a duty handled by Cetrion among the elder gods. Goro. Out of all the characters included in 1992's Mortal Kombat, one monster stood out from the otherwise human cast. For the most part, Midway adopted digitized sprites based on actors to actualize the early game's rosters, but Goro and subsequent monsters like Shiva and Kintaro were stop motion. In an interview with ARG Cast, Mortal Kombat co-creator John Tobias named old monsters from films like Clash of the Titans as a launching pad for the legendary gaming villain.
Well, the idea for Goro came about where Ed and I wanted to have a big brutish boss, and I remember thinking back to the old Ray Harryhausen movies, Jason and the Argonauts, Clash of the Titans, all those things.
So, what about Goro's four arms? The monster's defining characteristics harbors back to the Golden Voyage of Sinbad, a British fantasy film featuring a six-armed stop-motion monster based on the Hindu deity Kali. Ermac
Wins.
Prior to the rise of the internet and social media led to the widespread distribution of readily accessible information, players were dependent on gaming magazines and their own imaginations. Unfortunately, both are known to be occasionally wrong. Mortal Kombat's diagnostics menu featured a listing entitled Ermacs, which fans assumed referred to a secret character. Alas, it turned out that Ermacs actually stood for error macros, not a hidden character. Still, after years of speculation, Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 decided it would be easier to create Ermac than to dispel any such rumors. Similarly, Scarlet started out as a rumored glitched katana in Mortal Kombat 2. Unlike Ermac, Scarlet had to wait until Mortal Kombat 2011's DLC to become a real fighter.
Wins.
Sub-Zero and Scorpion. You cannot have Mortal Kombat without arguably the franchise's most iconic characters. Debuting in the original game and returning for almost every sequel, Scorpion and Sub-Zero are fierce rivals with eerily similar costumes and opposing elements at their disposal, creating an almost yin-yang dynamic between the two. While the pair's palette-swapped designs fit the narrative, Scorpion and Sub-Zero are a byproduct of the technological limitations faced by Midway.
But the limitations of the technology at the time also helped drive sort of the character designs, and so the simplicity of the costumes you see in those early games is because too much detail and everything becomes just kind of a jumbled mess.
Since the same foundation serves as the base for both fighters, the developer could save memory as only one character needed to be created. Palette swapping proved so effective, Midway even threw in a third ninja, Reptile, as a bonus character.
You misunderstand my intentions.
Rain. Seeking to exhaust all the colors of the rainbow, Mortal Kombat has a yellow, blue, green, gray, and now a red ninja as mentioned earlier with Ermac. Considering the Attract mode's intro shows a purple ninja named Rain, Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 seemed to have more in store. However, try as people might, the character could not be found in the actual game. While Rain eventually became playable in the home console releases, the ninja started out as a joke character inspired by Prince's Purple Rain. As a fan of the legendary musician, Ed Boon, Mortal Kombat's co-creator, added Rain to mess a bit with players. Liu Kang. Bruce Lee's presence can be felt across various mediums, and gaming is no exception. Soul Calibur, Tekken, Fatal Fury, and even Pokemon all boast characters reminiscent of the exceptional martial artist. In the case of Mortal Kombat, this honor falls to the franchise's prominent hero, Liu Kang, who resembles a digitized Bruce Lee in the first game. Along with the Shaolin monk's physical design, Kang can also transform into a dragon, a mythological creature synonymous with Bruce Lee. Originally, Kang was intended to be closer to a traditional bald monk, but actor Ho Sung Pak preferred to keep his hair, so the dragon entered the scene.
Liu Kang wins. Fatality.
Raiden and Shang Tsung. Many kung fu flicks and B-movies directly or indirectly assisted in defining Mortal Kombat's identity. That being said, the one source of inspiration most frequently cited has to be John Carpenter's Big Trouble in Little China.
Big Trouble in Little China was just kind of a take on all the other Hong Kong movies that I had also been exposed to, but it was like an Americanized version of it.
Mortal Kombat's main villain, Shang Tsung, is heavily inspired by the film's own antagonist, David Lo Pan, who are both decrepit old men seeking to obtain souls to extend their lives. The comparisons do not end there, as the iconic Raiden is the spitting image of Big Trouble in Little China's lightning character. While Mortal Kombat's Elder God is primarily based on Japan's deity of lightning and thunder, Raiden's hat is a deliberate nod to Big Trouble in Little China. Johnny Cage.
I make this look easy.
Armed with sunglasses and a cheeky grin, Johnny Cage has not-so-subtle allusions to Belgian actor Jean-Claude Van Damme. In fact, Cage's design in the original Mortal Kombat is basically identical to Van Damme's look in the 1988 martial arts classic Bloodsport.
Wow, wouldn't it be cool if Jean-Claude Van Damme could be sort of a star in our game?
A scene from the same movie also inspired Cage's split punch attack, a move later renamed as the Nutcracker. Mortal Kombat's history with Van Damme goes back further than just Cage.
We went back to our licensing guy and said, asked him if he could approach, Van Damme and his people and see if there was any interest in being involved in an arcade game.
Originally, Midway wanted to create a fighting game starring the actor, although Van Damme rejected the idea.
For whatever reason, it didn't work out, and but upper management liked the idea of a fighting game and had faith in Ed and I enough that they allowed us to kind of push forward, without Van Damme being involved.
Check out these other great clips from MojoPlays, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.